Aloha, it's Dave Lawrence. A big mahalo for tuning in today. I'm speaking with a highly respected guitarist whose talents have taken her around the world, entertaining audiences, including playing guitar for Michael Jackson and Jeff Beck, among others. She performs at the Max Solo Sessions tonight at 7:30 in the McCoy Studio Theater. It's an honor to welcome the amazing Jennifer Batten. Aloha and mahalo, Jennifer.
Aloha, how you doing?
I am very good. Thanks for taking a couple moments for us.
Sure.
You are a person who has a very special gift, and I've seen you in concert before and witnessed the magic happening. What was it that brought you here to the islands to perform for us? What's your connection to Hawaii?
I got a real good friend in Hilo that graduated the Musicians Institute, which is a school I went to and then taught at, and we've stayed in touch for a couple decades now. And I thought, well, gosh, I'm coming to the islands. Why not see if I can get something on Maui as well? And voila. It'd be nice if I go to Japan at least once, twice a year, so it's the idea of stopping in Hawaii for a week is really nice compared to the full flight
I
over there.
I can imagine. Good strategy you've got. So a close friend in Hilo, and had you already done your visiting there?
Nope, that's coming up Friday night.
Uh,
That little municipal golf course. There's a restaurant slash venue there.
and you're going to be performing.
Yeah. hmm
Awesome. Let's give it a little plug. What's the name of the place?
Mino's restaurant.
Great, and that'll be Friday evening.
Yeah.
Super cool. So two island shows, and that'll be it in terms of playing live?
Yeah, for now. Hopefully I can keep coming back and hit them all.
Yeah, well, I'd like to have you come by. Maybe you could play at, we have this really nice 75-seat performance hall that's connected to our studio, the Atherton. It'd be perfect for you.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. So I'm doing a solo multimedia show now with film, so it's pretty low maintenance as far as flying me around the planet. And I call it a 3D show because it's got so much going on. 3D for ADD, really. There's a lot of imagery and a whole lot of music, a lot of guitar playing, and some storytelling as well. So it seems to be going down pretty well.
Kind of describe the format when folks show up. What will take place?
Well, prepare to have your mind semi-blown because I've never quite seen a show like what I'm doing. And originally I wanted to get a band together, and then I started thinking what it would take to do that and the cost and whining bandmates. I thought there's got to be a way I can do this solo, so I came up with the idea of film. So generally I have about 8-foot wide screen, and I play completely in sync with the tracks, and it's mostly films that I've made that go with the tunes. For instance, one of the things I'm doing, I mean, most of it is original stuff, but one of the things I'm doing is a Michael Jackson medley. So I got a couple tunes in there like Thriller that have some old murder mystery black and white footage and zombie footage for Thriller. Smooth Criminal is the one I was meant before. But it runs all kinds of gamuts. There's a lot of various textures in the music and a whole lot of variety in the films as well.
Wow, it sounds like a really unusual performance. And so you'll be playing, you'll be playing along with some of these videos. You'll also be kind of telling stories about some of your experiences.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's really cool. I dig that. How did you first get the gig with Michael Jackson?
Oh, I was lucky to hear about the auditions. There was about 100 people that auditioned, so I asked when the last possible time I could go in was, and a few days later I went in. I had done nothing but stay home learning his tunes, and when I went in, there was no band. It was just me and a video camera. So the only real guidance I got was to play some funky rhythm stuff because that was 90% of my job. And then I played some soloing. I did a giant step solo, which ended up on my first record. It's a two-hand tapping thing. And I ended with the Beat It solo because I had been playing that in top 40 bands for a couple of years. And I thought he might find that useful, and he certainly did.
Was he there when you auditioned?
No, thankfully, no. No, that's a really good way to audition people. It's just videotape and, fast forward through what you don't like.
Sure, sure. Tell me about your first time meeting him, what your impression was, and when it happened.
I thought he was just beautiful. We had been rehearsing as a band in one room, singers in another room, dancers in another room for a month before we met him. Then we went on to a huge sound stage where they could do all the wacky, one-of-a-kind effects and lasers and everything. And we had heard that if he was happy with the music, he'd be dancing. And sure enough, he came through the door with his manager at the time, Frank DeLeo, and started dancing. And we all met him, and I just thought he was gorgeous. He was radiant.
Wow. And you guys hit it off. That you had a real personal connection.
Yeah. I mean, we all had access to him during rehearsals, and there was plenty of downtime when they were trying to get some special effects straight that we would hang out and talk. But once we were on the road, there was 100 people in the entourage, so we took up 3 different hotels, and it was just such a massive production that we would generally only see him at shows, and we had a group prayer before we'd go on stage, and he was gone before the last note, so we were separated there. But he would do things like shut down the Tokyo Disneyland so we can hang out without the riffraff, you know. Very spoiled.
What is your enduring memory or your favorite story of time together, or perhaps something that either makes you smile or that you like to reflect on?
One thing that really stands out in my mind is, Sheryl Crow was on the first tour with me, and we were the girls in the band. And we were at that Disneyland in Tokyo, and I remember distinctly looking at this goofy little toy that was Daffy Duck, and it was a toothbrush holder. And you push Daffy's head down, and the eyes go back and forth for as long as you're supposed to brush your teeth for. I was just fascinated by this thing, and of course bought it. But while I'm looking at it, Michael came up behind me, tapped me on the shoulder, and said he liked the way I was playing the Beat It solo, which was the first real feedback I had gotten. You know, we were on such a big tour, we were both insecure about how are we doing? Are we going to get fired? Is this going okay?
Sure.
That was a moment I'll never forget.
That first positive reaction from him, I guess.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And of course, that's a great memory to hang on to forever. Jeff Beck, what brought him into your life? That's where I actually got to see you.
Yeah, I stalked him. No, I knew when the second Michael Jackson tour was coming up that we would go to England. So I made it my one goal of the tour to track him down and invite him to a show. And really, I just wanted to give him my first CD, which had just come out, and get an autograph. And so I did that, and about 3 months later, thinking I'd never hear from him again, he called me up, and so I finally had a chance to listen to the record properly, and let's do one together. So that completely blew my mind, and 5 years later, actually, we hooked up and did a tour of Italy and spent 3 years together and did 2 records.
What is it, as a guitar player, can you try to help me whenever, because I play drums a little bit, but not really a guitarist, obviously. When I watch both Jeff Beck and Buddy Guy play their guitars, there's something similar about the way they kind of like grab it like a misbehaving child. You have any insight you can add to that?
It's just how the passion manifests itself. Being that connected to the music, it's just becomes part of your body at that point.
Have you ever noticed what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Like there's something, the two of those guys, the way they grab the thing, yeah?
Yeah. They're just, it's like a marriage, really.
Right. It's something, it's something else. It's really, it's spooky, the way that occurs. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So it isn't just me. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's cool. And as a final note before I let you go, and I, again, am very grateful that you took time for me in the last-minute nature of this interview, what high school did you go to, Jennifer?
I actually went to Ridgemont High, which doesn't exist, but it was based on Claremont High School in San Diego.
Is your father a teacher?
No, he was a physician.
Okay, I went to high school with this guy, Mr. Batten, and I always had this in my mind that he might have been your dad or something.
Oh, nope.
And just had to check. Because I was like, there aren't too many Battens out there. As a final note, if you're ever on Oahu, I'd love for you to drop me a line. Maybe we can keep in touch somehow, and if you're going to be coming back through, maybe visiting your friend, it would be wonderful to have you come over and visit the island. Like I said, we have a great place for you to play here.
Fantastic. I sure will keep track of you and stalk you next.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. And again, I really do appreciate you taking time, and I hope that you have a magical performance over on Maui. Looking forward to seeing you live again myself.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks. Aloha. This is Jennifer Batten, and you're tuned to the only show that matters with my friend Dave Lawrence.